Good evening and welcome to NewsNight. Tonight we'll have all your international, national, and local news. I'm Erin Ute.
And I'm Brendan McNamara. Tonight, hear more about a plane crash in Nepal that killed over half the passengers on board. Tonight, we will have more international news about the devastating missile strike in Ukraine.
Also, hear more about the United States debt limit that will be reached later this week. We'll also have the details on a shocking discovery from the University of California.
All this and more coming up on NewsNight.
A plane making a 27-minute flight to a Nepal tourist town crashed into a gorge Sunday while attempting to land at a newly opened airport, killing at least 68 of the 72 people aboard. The crash was the country's deadliest airplane accident in 3 decades. Hours after dark, scores of onlookers crowded around the crash site near the airport in the resort town of Pocahontas as rescue workers combined the wreckage on the edge of the cliff and in the ravine below. Officials suspended the search for the 4 missing people overnight and plan to resume looking Monday. It was not immediately clear what caused the accident, Nepal's Civil Aviation Authority said. The aviation authority said the aircraft last made contact with the airport from near Seta Gorge at 10:50 a.m. before crashing. The twin-engine ATR-72 aircraft, operated by Nepal's Yeti Airlines, was flying from the capital Kathmandu to Pokhara, located 200 kilometers or 125 miles west. It was carrying 68 passengers, including 15 foreign nationals, as well as 4 crew members. The European Union has banned airlines from Nepal from flying into the 27-nation bloc since 2013, citing weak safety standards. In 2017, the International Civil Aviation Organization cited improvements in Nepal's aviation sector, but the EU continues to demand administrative reforms.
The Ukrainian city of Dnipro is reeling after a devastating missile strike on an apartment building in one of the deadliest attacks since this conflict began last February. According to Ukraine's emergency services, 40 people had died in the attack, including 3 children, while 34 people remained unaccounted for. Ukraine blamed the Kremlin for the attack. However, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov claims that Ukraine's air defenses were responsible for the attack. The strike came as Russia and Belarus were holding joint military training exercises. Belarus is one of the few countries that have supported Russia's war effort, even allowing Russian forces to launch their brutal invasion from Belarusian territory. The Belarusian Defense Ministry said the drills would include joint tactical flights and that every airfield in Belarus would be involved. The UK announced last weekend that they would send 14 Challenger 2 tanks to Ukraine, making it the first Western nation to send the heavy tanks that Kyiv has been asking for since the war began. The U.S. also announced that it would send Bradley armored fighting vehicles. However, Ukraine has requested M1 tanks, which the U.S. is hesitant to send. Moscow predicts that these tanks will have little effect on Ukraine's ability to defend its territory and take back occupied territory.
One of the world's strictest anti-tobacco laws has been imposed in Mexico, setting in force a total ban on smoking in public places, including hotels, beaches, and parks. The new law, which is part of the country's general law for tobacco control reform, came into force on Sunday. It will also see the total ban on the promotion, advertising, and sponsorship of tobacco products. The sale and use of e-cigarettes and vapes are also due to face new restrictions. The new blanket ban extends on an existing federal and state tobacco control law, which came into place in 2008, banning smoking in indoor spaces such as bars, restaurants, and workplaces. Mexico, where the most sold cigarette is Marlboro, now joins nations such as Ireland, Greece, Hungary, and Malta as those with the strictest smoke-free environments. About 16% of adults in Mexico are tobacco smokers.
Italy's most wanted man has been caught and arrested in Sicily this past Monday. Mafia boss Matteo Messina Denaro, who has been a fugitive since 1993, was responsible for dozens of mafia-related murders, as well as fatal bombings in Milan, Florence, and Rome. Messina Denaro was also responsible for the murder and torture of the 11-year-old son of an enemy, who gave evidence to law enforcement. He was arrested by police in Sicily after being treated at a private health clinic in Palermo. Italy's chief of police, Lamberto Giannini, gave a statement congratulating law enforcement responsible for the arrest, saying, quote, "It is a victory for all the police forces that have worked together over these long years to bring the dangerous fugitive to justice," end quote. The Carabinieri press office told CNN that Messina Denaro is being held in a secret location awaiting trial. Coming up after the break, we will have your national news. Find out more about a library in Colorado that was shut down due to a threatening contamination. We'll also hear about a fatal crash that claimed 2 lives of 2 people. We'll be right back.
Regular physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health. The benefits of physical activity include brain health, weight management, reducing disease, strengthening your bones and muscles, and improving your ability to do everyday activities. So, it's time to get up and be active.
The University of Georgia offensive lineman Devin Willock and staff member Chandler LaCroix were killed in an early morning crash on Sunday in Athens, Georgia, just hours after the football team held its national championship parade, according to school officials. 2 other members of the football program were injured in the crash and are in stable condition, the school said. In a statement on Sunday, the school said, quote, "The entire Georgia family is devastated by the tragic loss of football student-athlete Devin Willock and football staff member Chandler LaCroix. Devin and Chandler were 2 special people who meant so much to the University of Georgia, our football program, and our athletic department. We ask that everyone keep their families in your prayers during this very difficult time," end quote. Police said they responded to the crash around 2:45 a.m. in the 900 block of Barnett Shoals Road. The 2021 Ford Expedition was traveling southbound when the vehicle left the roadway, striking 2 power poles and several trees, authorities said. Willock, 20, was pronounced dead at the scene. LaCroix, 24, was transported to a local hospital where she died from injuries, according to Athens police. A 21-year-old male passenger sustained minor injuries and a 26-year-old female passenger sustained serious injuries, authorities said. Police said the investigation is ongoing.
The United States will hit the debt limit on Thursday of this week. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen wrote to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy telling him that the Treasury will begin taking extraordinary measures to prevent the federal government from defaulting on its obligations. The Treasury is not able to estimate how long these extraordinary measures will be able to keep the government from a catastrophic default. She urged McCarthy to raise the debt ceiling to protect the full faith and credit of the United States. The White House has also said that this is something that must be done without condition or negotiation. The debt limit is the total amount of money that the federal government can borrow to pay for obligations that already exist, such as Social Security, Medicare, military salaries, tax refunds, and other payments. The extraordinary measures will give Congress more time to pass a bill that raises the limit. However, if the limit is not raised, the U.S. will default on its obligations for the first time in history. If the U.S. defaults, there will be catastrophic consequences for the economy and the world financial system. The last time the debt ceiling was raised was in December of 2021 to $34.1 trillion. Could your favorite social media be banned? Some universities are taking this initiative. Reporter Salvatore Elia has more.
Thank you, Brendan. The University of Texas has banned TikTok for being accessed on school Wi-Fi and wired internet connection. This comes after Governor Greg Abbott urged Texas institutions to consider the cybersecurity risks posed by the app. The United States government has been alarmed about the app's security as far back as 2020, when former President Donald Trump had first raised concerns about the Chinese government's ties with the app and its creators, and even considered a full-on ban. TikTok was established in 2016 by Chinese company ByteDance, and over the past 6 years has had a plethora of controversies regarding its privacy concerns, extremist propaganda, cyberbullying, and censorship of LGBTQ creators. Many are concerned as in TikTok's user agreements, it lists as the company will collect usage information, IP addresses, a user's mobile carrier, unique device identifiers, keystroke patterns, and location data. It has gotten to the point that at least 4 different countries and several American states have each held investigations into the app.
The University of California had a scare when they found a human skeleton in one of the unused buildings on campus this past Tuesday. The building was on the Clark Keir campus, a residential and event space a mile from the main campus. The university's police department released a statement claiming that it was unclear how long the remains were left in the empty building. The discovery halted the construction on campus, and it is unclear how long it will be before construction will resume. As of now, the identity of the skeleton remains unknown, but is being worked on by forensic specialists.
The second Colorado library in a month has shut down due to the same problem, meth contamination. The most recent library shutdown took place in the Denver suburb of Englewood, with officials shutting it down after test results showed contamination exceeding the city's threshold. The countertops tested positive for contamination and will require specialized cleaning, along with serious reconstructive work before being able to reopen. This uptick in contaminations is due to a motion to make space more open and accessible to everyone, trying to make it a safe place for families, but also making it a safe place for drug use unintentionally. Construction will begin on the library shortly, with Englewood funding more organizations to deter drug use. Right after the break, we'll have your local Pittsburgh news. Find out more about an accident in Butler County that left 5 people injured. We will also let you know why your alcoholic drinks may be getting a little bit more expensive. Stay tuned.
A man accused of shooting his wife and leaving her on a Pittsburgh highway ramp has been arrested. Detectives arrested 37-year-old Kevin Crew on Saturday. Crew was suspected of shooting his wife in the leg during an argument as they were driving on the exit ramp of I-579 to Boulevard of the Allies on November 28th. Police said Crew got into the driver's seat and drove off after the woman pulled over and got out of the vehicle. A tipster told police Crew was in an apartment on the 7000 block of Apple Street in Pittsburgh. Detectives went into the apartment at around 11 a.m., but Crew was not there, but they spoke with his current girlfriend, Chesley Mintosh, during questioning. She told police she had been arranging different locations where Crew could stay. Crew was found shortly after in a vacant neighboring apartment. Police say Crew was taken into custody without incident. A handgun was also found during the arrest. Sheriff Kevin Krause said in a statement, quote, "I commend my detectives and personnel for swiftly acting on the information they developed today, leading to the apprehension of this dangerous individual. The actions of this defendant represented a clear threat to the victim and the public," end quote. Crew will also be charged with a person not to possess a firearm. McIntosh will be charged with hindering apprehension.
On Monday morning, a car slammed into the Eaton Park restaurant near the Clearview Mall in Butler County. The crash occurred around 6 a.m. while at least 5 employees were in the building at that time. None of them were injured. There were also no customers in the restaurant as it was not set to open until 7 a.m. The car went all the way into the building and caused significant damage. It is unclear how long the repairs will take. Immediately after the crash, the staff started to clean up the broken glass and other debris, hoping to open for lunch. The driver of the car was evaluated by medics at the scene. However, it was unclear if they were injured or taken to the hospital. The identity of the driver has not yet been released. In other local news, the Hidden Valley Ski Resort in Somerset County had to close early to end the long weekend on Martin Luther King Day because of a fire. The fire started in a kitchen area in the early morning hours Monday. Many fire departments responded quickly and were able to contain the fire. There is no word yet about what caused the fire, and the resort said that anyone with a ticket for that day will receive a refund if they contact the Seven Springs Pass office.
A 13-year-old boy is charged with criminal homicide after police said he shot and killed another 13-year-old in Clairton. The shooting happened in the 400 block of Wilson Avenue at around 9:20 p.m. Monday. County police said first responders found a teenage boy suffering from a gunshot wound and was pronounced dead at the scene. That boy was identified Tuesday morning by Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office as Chase Jones of Clairton. According to a criminal complaint, a witness told police Jones was playing video games with Rich Cabbage Stock when the witness heard a loud gunshot. The witness told police they turned around and saw Rich Cabbage Stock with his hands on his head saying, quote, "I shot him," before running out of the residence. Rich Cabbage Stock is charged with criminal homicide and possession of a firearm by a minor. As of Tuesday morning, he has not yet been arraigned. The Clairton City School District announced that it would be closed on Tuesday. Pennsylvania inaugurated the 48th governor this past Tuesday. Reporter Salvatore Elia will give you the details of this celebration.
On Tuesday, Josh Shapiro was sworn in as the 48th governor of Pennsylvania. The inauguration was held at the Rock Lidditz Plaza, a popular event center in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. As an homage to the governor's Jewish faith, he was sworn in using a Tanakh, or Hebrew Bible, from the Tree of Life Synagogue here in Pittsburgh. Governor Shapiro previously served as Attorney General under Governor Wolf and was in several famous cases, such as a case with Gleno Hallbaker, Inc., in which the employer was forced to pay $21 million in stolen wages to workers. In the governor's inaugural speech, he thanked the former governor Tom Wolf and his constituents for, as he puts it, taking on the powerful and empowered the people. Governor Shapiro also, in his own words, vowed to take the responsibility to stand up for what's right, to bring people together, and to get things done. Former Representative Austin Davis was also sworn in as Lieutenant Governor. The Pittsburgh native represented Pennsylvania's 35th district. He also made history for being the first African American to hold the office of Lieutenant Governor.
People looking to enjoy alcoholic beverages might be a bit shocked the next time they buy some. Price changes for all alcohol went into effect on Sunday, January 15th, as the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board made the decision to raise prices of all alcoholic products by 4%. This applies to bars and restaurants and also the state-run liquor stores. This is the first time the board has done this since 2019 and is due to record high inflation. It is also helping to offset the operating costs that have been increasing for the last 4 years. Some lawmakers are critical of this decision. State Senator Mike Reagan, who chairs the committee responsible for the Liquor Control Board, said, quote, "If this was a private business, the raising of prices would probably be the last thing they do. The first thing they would do is try to cut their costs. They would look at how they're staffed," end quote. However, Mike Kelly, a member of the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, thinks that this was a fair decision. He said, quote, "Our team took a very long time to look at what the 4% means for our bottom line and what it means for our customers. We did not undertake this lightly," end quote. After a short break, we'll be back to give you your weekly Pittsburgh weather report. We'll let you know if these wet and cold forecasts are here to stay or if we're going to be lucky to see some sun. We'll be back soon.
Hey.
Good evening and welcome to NewsNight. My name is Craig Verkowski.
Tonight, we'll cover all your international, national, and local news.
Australia is one of the most biodiverse countries on the planet.
Over 8,000 items are to be auctioned off at Pittsburgh International Airport on October 22nd.
Last Thursday, the House committee investigating the January 6th attack chose to subpoena former President Donald Trump.
All this and more
Coming up on
NewsNight.
A 9-year-old aspiring paleontologist found the find of a lifetime on Christmas morning, a massive 5-inch tooth from a prehistoric megalodon. Molly Sampson, a 4th grader from Prince Frederick, Maryland, made the astonishing find on Calvert Beach for Christmas. Molly asked her parents for a cold water waders so that she could hunt for shark teeth and other fossils in the Chesapeake Bay. Equipped with her new gear, she set out at 9:30 a.m. to search for the remnants of ancient predators. She explained that she tried to grab the tooth with the sifting tool, but it was too big and was amazed when she realized just how large the tooth was. The Sampsons took their exciting find to the Calvert Marine Museum, where paleontology curator Stephen Godfrey confirmed their suspicions. It was indeed the tooth of a megalodon, the massive sharks that lived more than 23 million years ago. The size of the tooth indicates that this particular megalodon was between 45 and 50 feet long. Molly said she hopes to display the huge tooth in a shadow box in her room and hopes to become a paleontologist. This week has given us lots of rain, but we're hoping for a better week. Addison Deal has more details about what we can expect from the Pittsburgh weather. Addison?
Thanks, Erin. Let's kick this off with tomorrow's weather report. The high tomorrow will be a chill 57 degrees. There's about a 90% chance of rain, with a possibility to turn into snow as the evening comes. Into the night, the temperature will drop to 36 degrees and the rain will turn to snow. The average temperature for January 19th has been 36 degrees, according to AccuWeather. This year's high of 57 degrees still doesn't come close to the record high of 68 degrees. That's all I have for tomorrow. Let's switch it up and look at the rest of the week. The rest of the week is looking bleak in terms of sunshine, with both tomorrow and Friday bringing snow and rain. The next time we'll see some sun is Saturday's forecasted mostly sunny skies. The temperature will stay cold though, and the high will reach only 33. The rest of the week is showing temperatures in the high 30s and low 40s with a few days of snow and rain. A rainy and cold fourth week of January is ahead of us. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of NewsNight. If you want to see more, check out our social media pages on both Facebook and Instagram at UView Television.
You can also check out more episodes on our YouTube channel or our website, uview.pointpark.edu. I'm Brendan McNamara.
And I'm Erin Ute. From everyone here at NewsNight, thank you for watching and have a great evening.